The InterBus. The InterBus is one of the more successful joint ventures the empires have undertaken. It was formed some 30 years ago to act as a neutral passenger transportation company that would span the entire known world. Since then it has evolved a bit, especially when it started to ferry goods too. The InterBus is used by the SCC to ferry goods between stations, as they are reliable and operate in every station in the world. As InterBus has to operate not only in empire stations, but also in pirate havens and other stations associated with organized crime, the company has to uphold a very strict policy regarding neutrality and secrecy. Even if the company is owned by the empires, no information regarding to shipments or station locations is ever given out. The strict adherence to these rules has allowed InterBus to operate without harassment in every corner of the world of Eve, making them one of the pillars of the interstellar community. InterBus. InterBus is an impartial freighter company jointly owned by the empires. Set up to ferry passengers and goods to and from any corner of the cluster, it has been extremely careful to maintain its neutrality in every aspect of business. It possesses the finest stellar mapping systems and station data of any organization in the cluster by means of easy access to information from all of the major empires. Shipping routes and customer confidentiality are guarded with an almost obsessive level of security. Formed a little over 40 years ago, the corporation was intended to facilitate interstellar passenger transportation, a field with colossal startup costs and a notoriously low rate of return on investment. With joint funding from all the empires, InterBus swiftly grew into a large conglomerate offering both passenger and large volume cargo hauling services with no political or economic bias. Today, the setup costs of such a business have vastly diminished. Many of the empires have set up their own corporations, such as Imperial Shipment, Prompt Delivery, Freedom Extension, and Inner Zone Shipping. Despite these new competitors, however, InterBus still enjoys the largest market share by a sizable margin. As part of its charter, InterBus pledges to offer service to any station or outpost, and in order to do so effectively, the corporation must tread a fine line between serving various governments faithfully and at the same time establishing trust with new and growing settlements and stations. The board of directors for InterBus has successfully managed to stay clear of the quarrels and conflicts of the various factions within New Eden, with the resulting neutrality meaning that while its services aren't welcomed everywhere with open arms, it's perceived as a service useful enough to be permitted to operate in peace. The InterBus system, which spans almost the whole of the cluster, is one of the cheapest and most reliable forms of transport available. It also operates as a neutral safety net for those travelers who find themselves in trouble. Many careless merchants and explorers who have found themselves stranded among strange stars attribute their safe return home to InterBus. Corporations. InterBus. InterBus is jointly owned by the empires, but it has been careful to maintain its neutrality in all aspects. This has allowed the company to fulfill its intended role as a freighter company that ferries people and goods to and from any place in the world of Eve. InterBus has the best stellar charts and station data of anyone, but they guard this information very carefully.